How's it, everybody? Welcome back to Coral Reeches. It's Sanctum Gamer here, and we are looking down at our ever-expanding region, with our city starting to take up the majority of the landscape, which, of course, it's given it that beautiful highlight of being the main dominant city in the region, something that I am absolutely loving. And as it continues to expand, I keep looking at it and looking at where all the little pockets are, places that I want to fill out, just to try and give the place a nice, complete look. And that really is my agenda for the next, I don't know, maybe the next couple of episodes. So as I look down on it, I obviously want to complete the space and sort of blend it out into this area. We've got that little pocket over there that we've let for a very long time. We've got the hill over on that side. And then I've also got the islands that I would like to attend to. And when I get to the islands, I'm actually thinking I'm going to get to the islands in the next, I don't know, video or two, because I want to try and complete this entire look and then start blending in all of the farms in and around the space and just try and get the entire place looking a nice kind of way. In the last video, we expanded out a lot on the residential space around here, which I think has made this whole area look a whole lot more complete, blending in with the golf course as well as the industrial area over on this side. And even though I would like to try and complete up this place and maybe do a little bit better blending here, I am a little bit fatigued with building low density residential, so I am going to leave this for a little bit later. I might do this in this episode, I might not, I am not 100% sure, but what I do know is that I want this place blended out. I want this whole area completed sooner rather than later, so that we can just sort of call this entire place complete. For today, I think I'm going to come and start on this little space over here, and then once I'm done with this space, I will decide whether or not I want to jump into that area or somewhere else, because another place that I want to do is the spot right here, which is also going to be mainly residential, but I want it to blend in quite nicely. But in order to do all of this development, right, because I plan on expanding the city out into this area and maybe doing some kind of build on top of this little hill, because I don't have too many places where I have houses going up the hills other than the Spanish style villas that we did over on that side. So I figured over here, if I can have a massive residential area perhaps that sits on top here that gives beautiful views of the entire region. I mean, I think over here will be super awesome to have your big mansion. Just the views you'd get from here would just be super amazing. And I've got a lot of comments as well in the past. People talked about it in the live streams, and so I think that's what I'm going to be doing. But for that to work, I cannot have this industrial area here. And now at the time when I have my unemployment sitting at basically next to nothing, this gives me a very good opportunity to get rid of this. And then also with the cargo harbor coming up over here, where I am going to expand out with a lot of industry in this place, it is also a good opportunity for me to get rid of this space, put a whole bunch of trees here, and then allow this entire area to start cleaning itself out. I've got this recycling plant over here, but I'm not too stressed. I've got one all the way over on that side, and then once we get rid of this, it'll be an opportunity to build another another recycling plant, probably in this space, as I begin the expansion over on that side. So we'll probably get rid of this in this episode. I'm not sure. I will see. For now, I want to turn my attention over to this spot where I'm going to start with the expansion, and it's going to be mainly medium density houses. That's always been the thing that I have earmarked for this spot, and then we'll see whether or not there's a way we cross it over to this side and build something in this empty spaces around this little hill that is nestled between this railway line and everything else that's happening. I don't think this will be today, but we'll see what the future holds. But for now, my attention will be on this side, and I think I'm going to start in this little corner over here, where I want to build like a sort of planned development / low density residential areas. But before I get into all of that, I definitely want to get a highway crossing over here so that pedestrians can get to the college and the school over here. When I built this, I remember thinking to myself, this is not meant to be a college, but you know what? At the moment, it does function as one, so it only helps that I have a way to get to it from this side. So if I can get a road across over here, it's too, I guess it's too low. So let's get it up to the 8 point whatever, 8.7. Wow, it's still complaining that it's too low. Oh, I see, because there's a pillar in the middle. That's why. You know what? I think that pillar is gonna sit perfectly fine. I'm not gonna stress myself too much about it. I'm gonna turn on my Anarchy because I want it to work. Then I want my thing to cross. And look at this. I think this is too high. I really think this is too high. So I'm gonna delete it and I'm gonna make it lower. I'm not a fan of, oops, I'm pressing the wrong thing. I'm not a fan of how high that is. So I'm gonna start it off. Gonna put it at 7.5. I will cross like so. The pillar sits right in the middle. A little bit dangerous, but it's fine. We can find a way to make it look a little bit decent over there. Then what I'm gonna now do is I'm gonna start off with a couple of road layouts over here. We're just gonna put the same style of building. We'll put some detailing around it, and then let's see if we can get it looking, I don't know, a nice kind of way. All right, we're done. We've got ourselves something that looks like planned low income residentials. I think one thing is I really wanted to use the actual low density residential assets, but I just am not a fan of the way those look. And so I decided instead that I am going to go ahead and use the type of assets that I want, and this gives me a better look overall. Personally, I prefer that look over the low density residentials that the game comes with. Now I need to connect up this footpath so that it can start getting some kind of activity. So we're gonna bump this all the way up to, I think it was 6.5 that I made it, right? I think it was 6.5. So we're gonna turn on, I think let's turn that on, and then I'm going to bend it in that direction, and let's send it all the way down. Let's send it down to 2.5 at this point. Then I will do a little bit of a straight road, bring it down to the ground level, and then I think from here I can actually just make it straight and then connect it from here all the way up to this point. But then, I see my road is okay. You know what? We need to do this. I need to grab a road. I need to create a little thing off of there. Then I need to go ahead and turn off the keys on that side. I can then get rid of this, and then I should now be able to connect up to this one and then bring it all the way in. Why does it look like it's elevated? This is so weird. It looks like it's elevated, or is it just me? Anyway, it actually looks nicer that way. Oh, this is why there's like a little mound here. Okay, well, it's fine. It adds to the aesthetic as far as I'm concerned. That adds a little bit to the aesthetic. It's connected up. Now the people from here have a way to get to the high school, to a way to get to elementary, and a way to get to a college, which I think overall is good. So I left these little pockets here. I figured if this parking spots get a bit too packed, I can come and just add 1 or 2 more here, but it doesn't look like that's gonna happen. Looks like everything is good, everything is happy, and the only thing is I think I'll put 1 or 2 more seating at the back of some of these houses, and then I will just consider this area complete for now, because you know it is just low density, low income, at least that's what it's supposed to be, and it will have to do the job. My attention now is going to turn to the spot where I want to try and get some roads in, and then start figuring out how I'm going to lay out this entire place. Alrighty, I think we are done with this area. Let's take a look at what's the entire space look like. So as you can see, I've finished off everything here with this large telecom tower. Of course, it has no water or electricity, something that I didn't think of, because in my mind, because I was connecting it via a road, it should have connection, but well, I guess I was wrong. Okay, so let's just connect this up somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to connect all of this. So let's go underground, and I think I should be able to connect it up to over here. So if I can bring it out maybe that far and then just connect it up to that, it should get electricity. And yep, all right, then let's do water and sewage as well. And just to be on the safe side, I find generally that when I connect things like roughly from the same area, I have issues. So I try and just connect them from different points so that I do not have to stress about anything. And there we go. We have a functioning radio tower and a new densely populated area. I decided to go with a lot of the low rent housing because it's not something that I've had in a while. So after building all of this, I'm realizing that, I wasn't seeing as much traffic as I would have liked to see in this area, even though the whole place has been populated, which is good. But my city completely lacks low rent areas, and I thought this would be a nice place to put it. So I tried to put as many of them as I could in this space, mix them up with the one by whatever row housing, and then just densify this place as much as possible. And then once I do that, I mean, look at this. We've got so much more activity in this place. I've got cars parked on the side of the road. I've got cars parked in, I don't know, in all the parking lots, wherever they are, the places that I put the parking lot. So the game really wants you to go with density, because when we were building all of the low density over there, I mean, there were barely any cars driving around. And yet over here, look at the amount of traffic that this place is generated. And at least now it's starting to die down, it's starting to balance out. And I think it's looking a lot better now. When I start seeing cars parked on the side of the road, at least it gives the place a little bit of life. I've tried to put a number of these boulders at the back of these one by whatever row houses, just to try and get the place looking a little bit more realistic. And also, I think these row houses definitely make for so much easier building along like steep hills and stuff like this. I think they make the place just look so much better. And overall, I am super happy with how this place has turned out. I think it looks really, really good. I'm finally happy that this entire spot has been filled, and now the city is starting to again look more and more cohesive, and I can't wait to expand out into this area of the land. So I'm going to turn my attention to this side. This is where the industry area is, with the golf course that we were building a couple of videos ago. And what I want to do is that I want to expand out on the industrial area here a little bit. I want to try and get in a cargo port, as well as more of the low rent residential spaces in this area, and then just try and blend this area out into this space. I'm not sure how far out I'm going to extend the industry, but we'll see how much time we've got, and based on that I will decide how far I will get. So what I want to do is I'm gonna start off by grabbing the land. We're gonna grab the land over here, and then we're just gonna bring it out just a little bit so that I have enough room for placing the cargo port. And then I'm going to extend this road. So I think I'm gonna bring it in over on this side. It can come out to maybe around this. I think that distance should be fine. And then we can close it off. I think I need to turn this one back on. We can close it off over on this side, which is great. So that's perfect. What I will do is I will just extend out this road a little bit, maybe up until this point. It will actually be good if I extend it maybe up to this point here. Right, so perfect 90 over there. Then let's go ahead, grab the cargo port. We place it right up against this. So let's plonk this over on this side. And now we've got a cargo port, and let's see if this fits. Oh, perfect. And we've got room even at the back to be able to do some expansion. So we can put one over here. I think we can put maybe Ooh, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking we can grab some parking spaces and put a parking space directly over here. And then, can I just turn off this white screen? So let's grab this, and then we can put this over on this side. But I want it to be right against the parking. So let's do that, and then let's put it right up against the parking space like that. And that should be good. And I think maybe we might even be able to fit another parking over on this side, right? Can we? Yes. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted. So let's line it up nicely over on that side. Then now we've got nice large parking at the back there. We can figure out a way to detail out all of that space. Now, something about this place, if I turn on the white screens again, is that the land here is quite heavily polluted, as you can see, because of the gas, whatever this thing is. So I just want to mark it out so that I know exactly how far I need to go in terms of my build. So we will get a road that will extend out to over here, and I know that I can put stuff at the back here. It's not too bad because I want to put the low density residential in this place, so we don't have anybody complaining about, you know, land pollution and stuff. So cool. I think we've got the foundation of this area down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to terraform this land out a little bit, just so I have something that comes out so it looks like some kind of a cargo port. And then we'll start filling out this entire area with houses, offices, and a little bit of industrial. Alrighty, we've filled out this entire place, so let's take a look at it. And oh man, I love it. I think the area is blending together so well. Over here, I wanted to leave this little pocket of green purely because if you look at the land pollution, you can see that this area is mainly red, and I just wanted to make sure that I had a bit of a buffer between where all of the ground pollution is and where the residential spaces start. So I'm hoping this area will not give me any grief. But otherwise, I wanted to take the chance to put in a lot more low rent housing because it's so close to all of this industrial area. I think this would make sense to be the most likely sort of housing over here. A lot of the people that live here will obviously not be the richest. And yeah, I think the place has come together extremely well. I want to put down all of these decals to just make places like this look like they're getting quite a bit of use. And then yeah, around here I decided to make this rather an avenue instead of a single road. I think that just adds a little bit more to the amount of traffic that it can hold. I put down just one ship route here. I think I will do two, right? I think two will make a little bit more sense so that we get quite a lot of cargo coming in. But I'm gonna have to keep an eye on this because if this leads to too much traffic being generated in and around this space, then I will get rid of the other one. Now, another interesting thing I've noticed since I put down this cargo harbor, a lot of my industry all of a sudden has started complaining about high resource costs. Now, I don't know if importing resources leads to this. I'm guessing it is. But then the question now is, before I had this, how were all these industries getting all of their resources? I was assuming they were getting from the outside world, which would also cost more. But if I've got the resources here and now I am storing all of it over here, I would have expected things to get a little bit cheaper, but evidently not. So yeah, I find this very, very interesting that all of a sudden resource costs have just completely skyrocketed. So it's something that I'm going to have to monitor. We are going to be doing some massive farmland builds very, very soon, which should hopefully help contribute to all of the resources needed in the region. And then over on this side, when I build the main, docks and all that, we're going to have a couple of these unique buildings put down, which I think should also help with all of these high resource costs. But for now, all of these companies just have to deal with the extended cost for a little bit longer. What I will do though, at least in the meantime, I hope this will help, is that I'm going to expand on the storage so that in time, I'm hoping that the storage costs will go down a little bit. And then I will add more cargo cranes so that we can offload things a little bit faster. Okay, great. I see everybody's happy about that. So that is pretty cool. So now I'm going to turn my attention to this area. I'm going to try and get these roads all connected and then start working at blending this entire space into one nice, logical, cohesive unit. Okay, let me just take a small pause. Choice of words. This whole time the game has been paused and I did not even realize it. So I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, why am I building in all of this area and I'm seeing zero activity? Like nobody is moving in, nothing is happening. Meanwhile, the game has been paused and I'm like, oh man, all of this. The problem with the game being paused is that now I've placed all of these houses or all of these apartments and stuff, and I'm gonna have a flood of cars coming in. But anyways, it's all good. Look how well blended this place looks. I love this building so much. I just had to use it. I think this is such a nice transition, blending this industrial area with what is essentially a lot of low rent like housing, so cheapskate areas essentially, and I think the places come together very, very, very nicely. The only thing that is left now is the industrial zone over here, so I just want to try and see how I can sort of blend in this entire place, get a couple of industry buildings in to sort of complete this area, and then we'll be calling it quits for the day. Alrighty, I've done something. I have done something. I've got myself a nice little container port over here. It's nothing too flashy. The whole idea is that it's just a small area of containers that is designed to complement the cargo harbor over on this side. And I think in the end, it turns out okay. I have no idea what all these things are, but they all come together very, very nicely to make the whole area look a nice kind of way. I think the only thing I'm not happy about is I don't think I like these roundabouts over at the edge here. So I think I can get rid of them. And then maybe in time, if I'm not mistaken, we do have like boats and stuff which I can grab and put down over on this side, right? And I think this might actually work fairly nicely. So if I elevate it, oh, that's too low. If I elevate it a little bit, then I should be able to get it nice and high. Oh man, it's not elevating. I don't know why it's not elevating. But I think I should be able to put it down, grab move it, and then use move it to send it up the water level. There we go. And then I can have stuff like this, which I think really will add nicely to the whole area. But I think I'll be better off if I have like a nice big, what do I call it? Like extensions out from the water, which are much bigger than what these currently are. And then make the whole place look like the area, the boats are being loaded or something with cranes and all kinds of stuff. But I think for now, I'll just leave those two there just to give this place just a little bit of va-va-voom. And in the end, I think this has turned out quite all right. I don't know if I mentioned this before I started building this, but considering the fact that this was never in the plan for this video, I think my original plan was to complete the low rent housing over here and then go and expand out on this place. But I changed my mind and decided, let me rather come and try and close off this area, get more of this low rent housing in, and then get something that is looking like a harbor in place. And overall, I mean, our population has increased by quite a lot. I can't remember. I think it's probably like 5,000 or 6,000 in this video, which I think is fantastic. And everything has come together rather nicely. Over here, I like the fact that I've got some of these houses so close to the industrial area. Realistic or not, I just love the heights that this adds over to this place, just to indicate a desire or a need for a lot of the people to be very close to where they work, or all of this industry just got shoved in here without much concern for all of these poor souls that live in and around this area. Either way, there can be some kind of a story behind it, and I think overall this whole place just looks very good. It's a nice contrast of industry, low and poor incomes over here, more industry, and then just on the other side you've got the rich that are just there enjoying their golf whichever day they want. But yeah, I think this place has come together quite nicely. I'm very happy with it, and I don't know, I'll see what next week holds. I'm thinking next week I'm going to go and start something else way out there, but I will see how I'm feeling and then I will take it from there. So everybody, thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you've been here a while and you haven't done so already. And don't forget to turn on the bells, notifications, share the content, all of that good stuff. It really helps get the channel noticed. Big thanks to all of my patrons and YouTube members for all the extra support that you continue to choose to show the channel. It is truly appreciated. Let's delve into the schematics of our areas, and I shall catch you all in the next one. Cheers, everybody.